Ready? Start. Heard the submissions made by the learned counsel for both the parties and peruse the material on record. We are of the view that the corporate debtor has admittedly made part payment from time to time towards the above mentioned invoices during the pendency of the present petition. Further, the corporate debtor has not disputed the invoices in its reply to the demand notice. Therefore, it is deemed that there is no dispute as regard to the said invoices. At this stage, the corporate debtor cannot deny that there is no contractual provision for interest, as document cannot be read in isolation and has to be read in its entirety. Therefore, the contractual interest is very much a part of the invoices which has admittedly been accepted by the corporate debtor and against which part payments have been made by the corporate debtor from time to time. Moreover, there is no evidence to prove that the part payment made by the corporate debtor is against the principal amount claimed or against the debt including interest. Under the said circumstances, since the debt and default on the part of the corporate debtor being proved without any dispute, we hereby admit this petition by appointing Mr. Sandeep Jawaharlal Singhal, insolvency professional, as IRP, with a direction to the IRP to compute this claim by deducting the payments made by the corporate debtor during the pendency of this company petition. The petitioner shall pay the remuneration of the IRP as well as initial costs of the IRP until constitution of the committee of creditors. Accordingly, this petition is admitted with the direction as follows. The operational creditor shall deposit an amount of rupees 2 lakh towards the initial CIRP cost by way of a demand draft drawn in favor of the interim resolution professional appointed herein immediately upon communication of this order. That this bench hereby prohibits the institution of suits or continuation of pending suits or proceedings against the corporate debtor, including execution of any judgment, decree or order in any court of law, tribunal, arbitration panel or other authority transferring, encumbering, alienating or disposing of by the corporate debtor any of its assets or any legal right or beneficial interest therein. Any action to foreclose, recover, enforcement any security interest credited by the corporate debtor in respect of its property, including any action under the securitization and reconstruction of financial assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002. The recovery of any property by an owner or lessor where such property is occupied by or in the possession of the corporate debtor. The corporate debtor filed a reply to the petition on 5th March 2021 stating that firstly, there was a delay of a few months in disturbing the said loan and the financial creditor has reviewed the term loan facilities twice in the period between June 2015 and August 2016. Secondly, the petitioner itself is barred by limitation as the date of default is recorded as 31st July 2016 and this petition was filed on 31st July 2019. The corporate debtor states that the financial creditor has wrongly declared the account of the corporate debtor as NPA on 8th February 2019 as the said loan was overdue for repayment since September 2014 and therefore the limitation period ought not to be calculated from the date of NPA as it is erroneous. Thirdly, the corporate debtor alleges that since the financial creditor delayed the declaration of the loan account as NPA, the corporate debtor was rendered ineligible to participate in contain OTS schemes that were available between 2017-18 and 2019-20. It is submitted that the corporate debtor has communicated their willingness to enter into an OTS by the letter dated 6th August 2019 and 20th December 2019 to which the financial creditor issued no reply. Copies of the said letters along with the statements of accounts of the corporate debtor for the period between January 2013 to March 2019 have been annexed to the reply.